to Website and TV. I'm Gemma Houghton. Today I'm joined by Charlie Cadbury, who's the co-founder of Dazzle, which is a conversational platform for the travel industry. And we're going to be talking about conversational technology and why it's so important to embrace. Hi Charlie, thanks for being here.
Pleasure, thank you.
So firstly, what do we even mean by a conversational platform or conversational marketing?
So ever since the dawn of the internet, we've kind of built websites and built these kind of graphical interfaces to take advantage of the kind of digital products or services or the way that people want to communicate. With the advent of kind of conversation or voice kind of technology, we're able to provision these services in a different way, which allows kind of customers to talk directly to brands in a way that is convenient for them to get through directly to the answer.
And why is that on the rise? So, at the moment, it's certainly a topic that is becoming more and more talked about. Why is it suddenly something that more brands are thinking about?
So I think there's a few ways to think about this. If you think about the way that you use your phone or you use your communication tools at the moment, you're probably spending more and more time in kind of messenger environments, kind of WhatsApp or or kind of Facebook Messenger or places like that, and that's where you're becoming more confident and happy to spend your time. And that's quite important because that's where you have a trusted environment and you're creating those that's where you talk to your loved ones or you want to spend your time. And so if you can get brands involved in those kind of places, then you're going to get more cut through with your messaging. And then secondly, I assumed that we're having a conversation here because we think the audience are going to get more out of that. And that's because, if you're going to kind of provision this as a blog, you're not going to get as much of a kind of a rich or engaging kind of narrative. And so, really kind of get behind the idea of a conversation to get the most out of any kind of engagement. Yeah,
so I guess it fits with the fact there's more happening on social, which is a type of conversation. There's more engagement with videos now than there ever was. So people are wanting that engagement on a higher level than just reading something on a webpage.
Well, and we're humans, we get a lot of kind of enjoyment by talking to each other, and this is why we go and kind of seek these social environments because you get that back and forward. And also, I like to bring this back to sci-fi a little bit. We've all grown up, seeing that there are these ethereal helpers, whether it's kind of Kit from Knight Rider or whoever your favourite is, Jarvis from Iron Man. There's this idea that there's going to be this super intelligent artificial intelligence that can help and support and guide you through your life, and brands can build those to specifically help their customers do what they're trying to do.
And what are the risks for brands who aren't even thinking about this at the moment, who haven't really, taken that into account? What are they missing out on by not doing it?
So there's a risk by jumping too quickly. So having lived through the kind of the dawn of the app, running a whole lot of apps, if you try and rush something to market too quickly, which isn't well thought through enough and doesn't provide enough kind of benefit to the user or to the consumer, then you're going to end up with some bad reviews and people aren't going to come back. So you've got to think about the specific problem you're solving and then make sure that you're testing that against your customer base and make sure that they understand what benefit they're going to get from it, and then over time you can kind of grow from that. But you do need to start because these conversation interfaces are quite difficult to build. I mean, we've had to hire a whole load of new kind of people, so it's not necessarily your UX and design teams. It's very much kind of we're hiring poets and screenwriters in order to kind of make this kind of delightful and bouncy conversation. But you do need to start, because it's like teaching a child how to talk. You need to start somewhere, and it's going to be hard at the beginning, but you do need to kind of get that learning in-house.
I guess that is the challenge. It's almost a bit overwhelming for some brands. I think where do we start, and how many. There are a lot of different questions people might ask, a lot of different conversations people would want to have. So how do you get your head around thinking about where you actually start, what area you focus on, what questions you answer first?
Yeah, so I think, it's working out what's appropriate to the technology. So, the kind of classic kind of product design, you look at your customers and look at their digital day and look at where the most appropriate technologies are going to deliver the most benefit. And so we use kind of the Alexa and kind of home devices or kind of Google Home or Siri or SMS at different points of the day. So making sure you're provisioning the platform so that they can communicate where they're actually got the kind of point of need. And so you really need to understand your customers, understand those problems, and then start at the biggest problems that you understand the best, and then work around there.
And for a lot of brands, we're talking about travel, so they are international, they are, servicing people all around the world and in different languages. So that adds an extra element of challenge into the mix. How do you approach that one? Is it very much you need to start with one?
Yeah.
You need to take a different approach for every language?
So we're being slightly led by the platforms. So, the way that we can deliver these conversational interfaces are kind of built on, IBM Watson or the kind of Amazon Lex platform. And they only support certain languages at the moment, so typically kind of Cantonese, English and German. So we start there, and as they support more and more languages, we're going to be able to support more over time. And it's I can see that being a big challenge because it's not like internationalizing a website. So where you've got a single bank of copy, and you need to make that kind of translate that into a different language. Because a conversational interface is highly nuanced, and you've got to make sure that you're expressing the kind of the nuance and the personality of the brand. And that's not something which is going to be easily replicable. I mean, we know this is going to have to happen, but we also understand it's going to be a big challenge, but it's definitely something we've got our eye on.
And in terms of the whole, conversation, AI development of the, in the industry in general, what are, how is the future looking? What are the kind of, how are we going to see travel as an industry maybe change as a result of this?
Well, hopefully it'll be, we're looking at it to be more personalised and more frictionless. So the way, I was at the IATA conference a couple of weeks ago. It's amazing to see what the airlines and airports are trying to do to kind of bring down friction. I think, last time you went on a plane, you probably did your own kind of bag check-in, and things like that are massively kind of reducing queues in airports, and there's less of those. And so we're going to be able to support that kind of large-scale infrastructure thinking, so you can just stroll through airports and get recognised by your face to be able to kind of board the plane and what have you, and then also be able to really ask for whatever you want at any point, and it will just arrive to you. So the idea that every time you get a message from a brand, it'll be very, very useful to you. You're going to not have any kind of like junk or kind of spam irrelevant offers coming to you. Anything you'll get, you'll have to really, really try hard to say no to, because it should all be that personalised, and they should know who you are.
Know who you are, what you want to do, what you need, and
exactly. What everyone's trying to go for is, how do they get to know you so well that they can run this inspiration piece. So it's it is really easy for you to say yes, and it's actually going to make your lives better, because it's stuff that you wouldn't have thought of yourself. You're going to have people spending millions of pounds trying to create algorithms to delight you.
Understand your life better than you.
Exactly, which is great. Which I think as a species will only make us reach further and do more. And I'm quite excited about that, because sometimes you don't have enough time to think about the amazing holidays you're going to have. You just need to take your holidays. And, if someone else can do that heavy lifting, then I'll see more of the world and be able to look back on my life with a bigger smile on my face.
And from a kind of marketing perspective, we know, travel is obviously a very competitive industry. There are, there's the brands themselves, hotels, for example, and there's all of the online booking platforms, and there's, a range of ways that people can book holidays, find information. How can brands use this kind of technology when it's still fairly in its infancy to really stand out and, get a better share of the market, reach that audience better than their competition?
So right now is a really interesting time. So look back at the parallels between when Steve Jobs announced the iPhone and then the kind of the App Store, and everyone could go and create an app. And the people who did really well in the early days were people who did a really, really good specific app and then told the world about it, because you managed to get a return on your engagement in a novel way with all your customer base, and secondly, it's really, really PRable. So all of the all the kind of trade press then writes about you as being a pioneer, a leader, and as a brand, you just need to be brave and make that step rather than wait and do a Me Too type offering, which doesn't get the same impact.
Yes, you really need to push forward and do something others haven't done in order to
exactly. So it's, I think it's about being brave.
So it's definitely an exciting time, but needs a bit of courage to get out there and get the rewards.
Yeah.
Great. Well, it was very interesting to chat to you about that. Thank you very much for sharing it.
So thank you very much.
Thanks.